All right, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. This is my post-market wrap-up on this Friday, January 3rd, 2020. What a day. I have so much to talk to you about. I guess I do know where to begin. Let's start off with these markets. Crude oil, really nice spike, although I'm surprised it didn't go higher throughout the day. I want to talk more about that too. Stocks finished close to the low of the day. This should not surprise you at all if you are a trader or someone who understands market dynamics. Who would want to hold stocks into this weekend? As a matter of fact, I was so sure that this market was going to sell off at the end. I bought puts towards the end of the day. I capitalized on that. I bought calls at the open because we knew the stock market was going to get propped up right off the bat. Within a half an hour, the stock market cut its losses in half. Look, if you understand the psychology of the market, it will help you trade. And I try to outline all this stuff for you here. So when you see something like this come up again in the future, you know how to play it. No trader would want to hold a position, in my view, going into a weekend with this uncertainty in the market. Now, that's what drove stocks lower. Crude oil, they want it higher than it is now, despite the gains that it put on. And believe me, it's going up. People, if you believe that we're done, that this is it, well, I want to share something with you. Shock and awe. That's what's coming next. This is going to escalate. Again, I have so much to cover with you today. All right, so we understand what happened to crude oil. Boom. Stocks, bam. Metals caught a bid. Cryptos caught a bid. Now, I want to show you something. Because seeing is believing. All right, this is the yield curve. You see all that red from the 1 month? Let's go all the way down, all the way to all the red, all the way to the 30. See that? How does that happen? Again, some entity out here is buying debt like there is no tomorrow. We know who it is. It's the Federal Reserve. They're pumping billions upon billions of dollars a day, tens of billions per day into the debt market that's suppressing rates. That's why the yield curve dropped today. Period. I mean, look at the dollar. The dollar put on a fractional gain. You would expect, as a safe haven, the dollar would have went up substantially. It didn't happen. So there's a lot of things in play here. What I want to do, I want to cover what happened today kind of in a blow-by-blow fashion, because I was out here posting pretty much all day long. Oh, by the way, I don't know what's going to happen to this video, but the one I did this morning is under review. I must have offended someone. I have no idea. So if you haven't seen my video from this morning, I would suggest watching it, saving it. I have no idea what they're going to do. But we'll see if this one comes under review as well. All right, so what I want to do here, like I said, I want to give you a blow-by-blow with regard to this market. Now, I found this particular thing interesting. If you were following the mainstream media today, even Fox, that, they'll pretty much back up the president no matter what he says. Well, here we go. And this is me. Are you watching the MSM, Fox Business, whatever? Here they go. POTUS and others all saying, we made America safer following the new airstrikes. This is the narrative. But I promise you people, more airstrikes are coming. It's a setup. More bombing, more death, shock and awe. This is to feed the military-industrial complex. There's just no doubt about it. Now, underlying a lot of this today, this is the December U.S. factory activity here in the United States is officially in contraction. It's the weakest in an entire decade. We have not seen this level of factory activity since the Great Recession. Understand what we're witnessing here. The bombings, the airstrikes is a distraction. Look here. Don't look here. The economy is in free fall. We are officially in contraction with regard to, and it's been contracting. And I've explained this to you for months, that it will continue and it will get worse. This, we haven't seen anything yet. It's definitely going down. ISM number came in at 47.2. Anything under 50 is contraction. Pretty simple. Also, we found out that U.S. farmers have another bleak year despite bailouts, despite promises that the farmers were going to do better. It's all lies. It's all propaganda. It's unbelievable. And then there's a story here how crude oil has, and this will, not potentially will, could potentially gain much more from where we are. People, that's the game. That's where we are. I hope you're not stuck in that freaking maze that I referred to this morning. I said you were a rat in a maze. If you don't get what's going on here, people, this is insane. Now, I already covered this. An epic surge of bond and debt buying has pushed the entire yield curve down. One guess as to who or what is responsible for it, and I said it's so twisted. It's absolutely twisted. Let's move down the line here. Now, how about this one? The Federal Reserve just today has injected 51.15 of temporary liquidity into the debt market. Temporary? Oh, they're going to take it back? No, they're going to add to it. Where do they come up with this stuff? Don't call it QE. Do not call it QE. This is a daily occurrence. It's perpetual, like I explained to you. Now, here's something that you should listen to, and it should scare you. Ready? This is from the State Department. The United States State Department is urging U.S. citizens to leave Iraq immediately. People, and this is what I wrote, I would strongly urge people to listen. More Middle East airstrikes and who knows what else is coming. This is a lock. This is a lock. Several articles on the State Department warning U.S. citizens to leave Iraq. Let's move forward here. Now, I want to cover this real quick because, you know, I take a lot of heat doing this blog from people. Now, how many of you recall months ago when there was a military buildup, or it was going on for months, U.S. military troops being deployed, ships being deployed, weapons into the Middle East, and I said on this blog this was going to lead to conflict? Greg, you are wrong. President Trump wants peace. You're an idiot. You're an imbecile. Duh! Okay, I guess I nailed that one to all of you, and there were a lot that wrote to me, no, President Trump wants to pull troops out. He's not looking to start another war or any more conflicts. No, Greg, you're an idiot. You should stop spreading fake news. Really? Duh! I mean, that's all I have to say. People, wake up. You are a rat in a freaking maze. Start eating some damn cheese. How about that? Go to your fridge, see if you got some. Now, this I covered earlier. Defense stocks got a boost across the board. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, record freaking high today, and it will continue. Now, again, we witnessed at one point today, stocks cut 2/3 of their losses from the low. I mean, there's a lot of buying going on at one point, and the sell-off to the end of the day, you should expect to see these things. Lions, traders, when there is uncertainty like this in the market, okay? Nobody in their right mind is going to want to hold a position through the weekend. So you can capitalize just like I did, buying puts at the end of the day. I mean, it's like, you know, a gift, and I'm giving that gift to you, and you will pay it forward. This advice I give you, you can't find anywhere. Trust me. This is from years of doing this stuff. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. This was initially reported on CNBC, but it got coverage elsewhere. Ready? CNBC. International leaders and politicians are calling President Trump's ordered military strikes reckless, a dangerous escalation, etc. This is their words. Now, I wrote, however, they all realize but cannot tell you that these strikes will apply. It's a game meant to distract from the reality of a U.S. economic free fall. And they're going to prop up crude and prop up the stock market. You think that this sell-off is going to continue? Hell, you know what? It may early into next week. I explained to you we were probably getting a pullback this month anyway. And what is it in this environment with a Fed pumping tens, hundreds, trillions of dollars into the debt market, propping up crude oil? It's bullish. It's not real. Wake up. My God, man. I got to tell you. And, you know, I got hammered today. Greg, should I pull my profits from crude oil? You've been telling me to buy it for months, and I bought all the dips, just like you said. I got a lot of profits here. What do? It's never wrong, ever, to pull profits. You do what you want. Do I believe crude is going up? Yes. But if you got nice fat profit from buying crude oil off of what I've been explaining for months, pay it forward, number one. Number two, pull it. What do you got to lose? You're never wrong pulling profit. Never, ever. So understand that. I went over Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, defense stocks, and let me say this to people. I want you to understand what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to read this to you. All right. Wall Street is hoping for and will get more support and stimulus from the Fed, more capital from the banks, vast increases in the repo operation, as well as massive purchases along the entire debt curve. Just like today, bam, yield curve came down. This will push the already hyper bubble in this stock market even hyper. Yeah, higher. It's just too much, man. And how about this one? How many of you recall President Trump tweeting? He predicted, he said, don't let President Obama trick you into a war with Iran so he can get reelected. President Trump has absolutely taken over Obama's playbook across the board with the debt buying, across the spectrum, the quantitative easing, the big fat ugly bubble in the market, which he called correctly when he was a candidate to what we have now, which is completely insane. Now, how about this? We heard from Pompeo today. Pompeo is saying, the United States wants to de-escalate. We want to de-escalate. Meanwhile, right here, breaking, President Trump calls up 3,500 troops from the 82nd Airborne to be deployed to the Middle East. Sounds like de-escalating to you? Duh! Yeah, we're really de-escalating, people. Factory activity, the weakest in a decade. It's absolutely unbelievable. Now, let me read this to you real quick. Even the mainstream media is calling the timing of these U.S. airstrikes suspicious, and some of their guests are actually saying that these attacks have made America less safe. They just don't understand what the real agenda is, people. Prop up crude, boost stocks, which will happen, end the distraction from the free-fall economy. It's just so sick. It really is. And here's a tweet here from the president, dated 10/22/12. Don't let Obama play the Iran card in order to start a war to get reelected. Be careful, Republicans. Yeah, looks like he took over that playbook, huh? Oh, man. I know, you know what, I might have been cover that one. But anyway, and then I'm going to leave you off with a couple of things here. President Trump said this was a quote towards the end of the day. We, meanwhile, he ordered it. Did you order it? I don't know. We took action to stop a war, not start one. We've heard that before from many leaders around the world. And then President Trump goes on to say, and this made me feel so much better, sarcasm. President Trump said, don't worry, the United States isn't seeking Iran regime change. No. Oh, are you kidding me? You really got to be freaking kidding me, people. I don't know. What do you think of all this? It's so simple to me because I've called it time and time again before it happens. It's not hard to do. Once you break out of the Republican cult and the Democratic cult, and you realize it's a divide and conquer mechanism. You push that out, you can see clearly the agenda. The agenda is simple, people. When all else fails, they bring you to war. That I want you to remember. Gerald Celente has been saying that. That's my second shout out to Gerald today alone. The guy is smart. The guy knows what he's talking about. All of this is a distraction from the free fall economy. All of this is a ploy to feed the military machine. Defense stocks record high. Crude oil on its way up. Corporate America will reap record profits off of a stock market that's going to continue higher as our economy free falls. It's an incredible situation, but again, nothing is real. It's all fake. It's all distorted. The lies, the propaganda that we're seeing. I've explained to you that this is what we were going to see again before it happened. It's going to get worse, much worse here. And we are not done in the Middle East. We're deploying more troops over there, more ships over there, more anti-missile batteries over there, tanks. You name it. Our whole arsenal is going over there. Secret military weapons, stuff you're not supposed to know about. It's all going over there. And of course, what will they do? As the U.S. economy continues to free fall, the war will escalate. They're going to blame the economic free fall on Iran or some other Middle Eastern country and say, oh, it's their fault why our economy is in free fall. You know, they got to blame it on something. Here's the setup. It can't be the president's fault. It can't be the fact that his economy is in free fall. It can't be the fact that we are losing hundreds of billions of dollars in this trade war. We have lost hundreds of the billions. The lie has been exposed. He said repeatedly that we were taking in billions from China. He was told to shut up because it's not true. Everybody knows it. The trade deficit, the trade gap is incredible. China has won beyond any shadow of a doubt. But no. It's just all lies and propaganda. There's such a bigger thing going on here, people. Break out of the cults. You know who the cults are. They are your worst enemy. Believe me on this. Anyway, look, I think this video has been very important. I covered a lot of important stuff. Maybe even watch it twice. Think about these things. Ponder the things I have covered as we go into this weekend. And keep your eyes and ears open. Understand where we're going. The real agenda here to allow the Fed to issue more debt, to prop up crude oil, to feed the military-industrial complex. This is why President Trump will win, hands down, the next election. He is the master, or he is being ruled by the military-industrial complex, and he's masterfully persuading people to believe that there is some other agenda, that he's going to bring down the Fed, that he's going to stop war. Whoever is spreading this is part of the propaganda machine. He knows what's going on here. He's doing everything to make sure it happens, calling for rate cuts, calling for more quantitative easing. It makes the Fed stronger, not weaker. He's issuing in the final solution of the central banks, of the Fed, to be the lender and buyer of last resort. You cannot declare bankruptcy. Everyone thinks, oh, President Trump's going to give us a debt jubilee by declaring bankruptcy. Really? The dollars in your bank account that aren't even there, in your pocket, are units of debt. Unbacked liabilities being dispersed by a bankrupt government. If we were to have a debt jubilee, what would happen to your dollars? You think it would be worth $1? It would evaporate. You'd be zero, broke completely. This is the grand plan to create a two-tier society. You think President Trump is not going to win when he's doing everything he can to issue in this new world order, this new system where there's a two-tier society, the extreme haves and have-nots? You gotta be insane. You really do. People, with that, I'm going to leave you off with my favorite 3 things. It is Friday. You won't see me again until Sunday. People, love each other, care about each other, and be charitable. Please share this video. I will see you Sunday.